everyone, welcome back to Live Whole. If you're anything like me, you have a love-hate relationship with chair pose. We love it because it strengthens us head to toe, really fires up that core and makes us strong. We hate it because, let's face it, it's hard, especially if you're holding it longer for about, 10 seconds. So I'm here to break it down step by step and really make sure you're doing it properly. And if you ever hear the word in yoga class, you're going to hear Utkatasana. So let's get started with a block if you have one. If not, I'm going to show you a variation, but it's really helpful in this pose to learn how to align your body. I've got my block from Manduka, which I love. Thank you, Manduka. And you're going to place this in between your inner thighs. So not too high, but not right down by the knees. Right where you can feel your inner thighs press and roll in, right? So for a lot of us, it's kind of tempting to externally rotate the hips. We want to encourage an inner rotation with the thighs. The block will help us do this. Now I want you to squeeze your inner thighs in. If you don't have a block, I'm going to ask you to place your hands on the outsides of your legs, and you can do this with the block too, and press your outer thighs into your hands without letting your knees come out of alignment over the ankles. So that's another key point. You want to keep your knees, as you shift your weight back into your heels, you want to keep your knees over your ankles, and you don't want to bring them down towards the floor. So really make sure that weight is back in the heels. Now, something about the feet, you want to feel your feet press into the floor. So I'm asking you to pick your toes up back towards your face as you push the ball of the foot and the heel into the floor. So what you should feel connected to the earth are the 3 points, these two right here on the ball of your feet and the one back in the heel. So really feel that kind of triad of the foot push down into the floor. All right, squeeze this inner block, fire up those inner thighs. Send the weight back. You can use your hands to your thighs for support right now. Now, roll those shoulders back so your chest is open. What you might notice now is that your ribs spill forward. Draw the ribs in and down. So I always tell my students to laugh, because when they laugh, they let all the air out and it goes, ha, and the ribs go in. That's the feeling you want. Now you want to draw your navel up and under, as if you've got an ice cream scooper coming right up. So your tailbone's going to go long. So as soon as you lift up in the pelvic floor, the tailbone goes long. So let's hold that back and sit. You want to imagine you're on an airplane and you're in the bathroom, okay? And that's rocking. You know that feeling of, you're not touching the seat. I'm not touching the seat, especially if it's on a flight over 6 hours. You're not doing it, yeah? So you want to kind of hover. You really want to sit back there and fire up those legs. Good. Press through the earth with the ball of the feet. Now I'm going to turn to the side. You can take a little break with me. I'm going to take my block with me between my inner thighs. Feel that still working. And I want you to look at my tailbone. So a lot of the air I see comes here and the arch in the low back, right? People are spilling and dumping into the low back. Once you draw that belly in and up, almost as if you're going to lift your pelvic floor to your rib cage, the tailbone then goes long and points down to the ground. You want to feel a nice line of energy from here all the way through the top of your head. Okay, sit back in that chair again. Maybe get a little lower, fire up those legs. And even as you go back, you're going to draw the tailbone under even a little bit more to protect the low back. If you're pulling up and in with that core, you're not going to feel it in the low back so much. Now, bring the arms above the head. They don't have to be all the way back for right now. I just want you to be able to pull the shoulder blades down into the back so the shoulders don't creep up. So this, not so much chair. This is a nice long line of energy. Keep squeezing that block. Whew, and breathe. Remember, you hear me say it a million times about the navel to the spine. So every time you exhale, just encourage more of that natural movement. It's almost like doing an internal sit-up. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. You can be doing sit-ups all day, six-pack all day long. Good. And let's take a break. I'm going to show you what this looks like from the back so you can really see what my spine and how my shoulder blades are engaged onto my back. So I'm turning around, taking my block with me, keep squeezing, woo, those inner thighs. And now I'm going to sit back in my chair. Again, my booty goes back. You'll really see it now. Tailbone goes long, so watch that arch. As soon as you pull the navel up and in, you're going to feel the tailbone lengthen. Squeeze with the inner thighs. Knees, remember, over the ankles. And now I'm gonna lift my arms up and watch those shoulder blades pull down into the back. Keep the shoulder blades connected onto the back. Reach forward as you're sitting back and create more length in the spine. Good. Keep lifting, keep breathing. And come up. Great. Your chair postures are going to be stronger and better in no time. So the key points to remember here are: 1, the inner thighs engage. So watch that you don't have the external rotation in the hips. 2, make sure the knee is aligned over the ankle. 3, make sure you're drawing that navel to the spine, keeping a long tailbone. And 4, make sure the shoulders are out of the ears. Stick with those key points and you'll have a perfect chair in no time. Join us on Wednesday when we'll start moving dynamically through your chair pose. See you then.